everybody out there on YouTube. This is Tyler of the Tyler Revolution YouTube channel. And I don't have any fancy name. One day maybe I'll have a different name for the YouTube channel. Nothing specific in the name. It gets my attention. Anyway, this is part 4 of my playthrough of Civilization 6. Recorded on Tuesday, so when you'll see this, I don't know. Hopefully I'll get it in the week, kind of give it some space. So setting up the area, the ordeal that I'm in currently, since the last video. So just in case you skip the other videos, which is quite possible, I'll try to get toward the end. So this is what's going on. I've found it, of course, my capital in London, Leeds, then Stoke-upon-Trent, then Birmingham, and then I just recently found a Bristol over here, trying to move westward. This is east. Currently has Arabia and India running across the way, and then this is Arabia. This is China. India took over Jerusalem by military force. I'm having unhappy relationships with India, which they seem to be unhappy with everybody, it seems. I am in the middle of researching construction with 7 turns left there and 1 turn left for civil service. I recently spread my religion, Catholicism, up to Leeds, which is currently in a little bit of a struggle here against Hinduism. I'm going to have to continue to produce apostles and missionaries, and I will continue to do that as my faith builds up. I think I only have 1 holy site, and that's over here in part of London, but obviously now kind of connecting there, so I think I might be building one here as well. Yeah, building a holy site there as well. Of course, this is Leeds. I built a commercial district, so that's what the commercial district looks like in this era. Which I think I'm now... Can't remember the era I'm in. It's just recent. Just went the Golden Age. So we'll find out. There we go. History timeline. Into the medieval era is what we're at now. And I earned a Golden Age. So yeah, that's sort of the lay of the land. I'm kind of scouting over here. I got a swordsman. I think this is also still coastal. So like I said, I'm going to expand westward. That's my plan. And I think that's the wisest choice because there's really nowhere to go eastward. And maybe, hopefully, across the seas we'll get there. What else to look at to kind of set the picture? I have governors in 3 towns now. Actually, she was in a... One of them were actually settled in Buenos Aires, but I moved them to a local city for now. I think I'm actually trading currently with a trade deal with the unfriendly Indian Empire, though I was hoping that sending a delegation, sending a trade would help them. He's currently at war with Saladin and friendly with Qin Shi Huang. And like I said, I don't know why we're unfriendly. We haven't got really to that. I go against one of their agendas, which might be, could be anything at this point. I haven't got to the point of having spies. Purchasing an item with faith, you can build units, traders. I'm actually going to go ahead and purchase another missionary. And before we get going, and then that is next turn. So here we are officially for the part 4 of this series. By the way, whoever sees this, I'm going to put a link in my profile.
The taxpayer. That's someone who works for the federal government, but doesn't have to take the civil service examination.
So that is a quote by good old Ronald Reagan. And we all know who Ronald Reagan is for the most part. Even if you're not American, you know how revered he is on certain political sides of the country. He was, he was born February 6th, 1911. Died June 5th, 2004, at 93 years old. And it'll be kind of astonishing, but he was the 40th president. So since Ronald Reagan, we've had 5 presidents, which is kind of interesting, to be honest. I guess not so much, but I mean, really, you got to think. Clinton, George W., Obama, each served 2 terms, and now we have, of course, the Donald. But anyway, there's nothing that I don't think anyone doesn't know about Ronald Reagan. But just a little factoids. He was in the military, was in the U.S. Army Air Forces. Years of service was 1937 to 1945. He earned the rank of captain. His unit was the 18th AAF base unit. Reagan was raised in a poor family in a small town in northern Illinois. Once again, if you've seen the other videos, I'm using Wikipedia. He graduated from Eureka College in 1932 and worked as a sports announcer on several regional radio stations. After moving to Hollywood in 1937, he became an actor and starred in a few major productions. Reagan was twice elected president of the Screen Actors Guild, the labor union for actors, where he worked to root out communist influence. So there you go. Interesting. Reagan actually had been a Democrat until 1962, when he became a conservative and switched to the Republican Party. Just a little knowledge of the Gipper. Now look at the change policies. Our expression of civil service would define humanity's future in the medieval era. So what is it? Civil prestige. Established governors with at least 3 promotions provide 1+ amenity and 1+ housing. Also have retainers, 1+ amenity for cities with a garrison unit. I think I'll keep it as I have, and you'll see I have colonization, which is a +50% production towards settlers and a +1% production in all cities. Diplomatic lead, the first envoy you send to each city-state accounts as 2 envoys, and then a wildcard policy. I went with economics, caravansaries +2 gold from all trade routes. See if there's anything else I'd rather have. Currently, no, I think I'm okay, so I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to come over here to Bristol. Unspread Catholicism. I'm going to choose a new civic to research, and I'm going to use naval tradition. And next turn. London needs more housing. If I get a little bit weird, I'm trying to, in the background, waiting to hear if there's any knocking. I had some issues with my apartment today, maintenance-wise, so hopefully that'll be taken care of. Anyway, what I was mentioning earlier was, I'll put a link in my YouTube profile. But also, whoever watches this, I have a Twitch, which I actually do my my console gaming.
Completing the construction of this building has inspired our policymakers. If we choose to institute this new policy in our government, it could greatly help our people.
Okay. So what I was saying was I have a Twitch. I do most of my console streaming there. Actually, all of my console streaming there. Because I can't quite get the bit rate on my laptop to stream on live from my PC to do this live, which is why I'm doing a series of recordings and uploading them that way. So that Twitch is also the same, Tyler Revolution. And it's exciting, it's fun. The only problem right now is I'm got an internet outage until Wednesday, and then I work. So, but I had a great 2-hour plus stream last night on Twitch. In and out of good quality because I was using hotspot, but it was a lot of fun. Didn't go too bad. I didn't get a win doing Fortnite. But anyway, just a shameless plug for myself in the YouTube videos once you get to this point. So my swordsman has gotten over here. And there's nowhere else for him to go. I'm going to send him up here. Across these. Choose production. I'm going to choose... I'm going to choose an encampment. This is basically my garrison, my military encampment. You saw over here, where is he at? They formed their own little ships. And I mentioned this in the last video, previous iterations of civilization. Sometimes you had to load up all your military personnel and stuff to do long distance trips and across water a little bit. You could do some across water, but nothing like this. Nothing where you could actually just send the swordsman across the sea. So that's certainly cool. Certainly an interesting thing that I like about this game. Look up our tile. I'm actually going to just go ahead and appoint a new governor. I'm going to send him to Stoke-upon-Trent. Assign. So that's what I'm going to do there. See the water map going on. Got to explore this way, of course, and all over, but for now, this is where I'm stuck. So I finally get the chance to build a ship. Like China has, boat galley. I'm kind of in a standstill of exploration, which is kind of a annoying aspect. But I kind of focus on my homeland first, my home continent, and then kind of spread out. So we'll get there. We'll get to exploring further and further out. Choose production. Choosing production for Birmingham. I'm actually going to build a monument first. It's one of those things you have to build the city center, monuments, granaries, things like that. Walls focusing on the city helps give security to the city, which means more growth, and then you can kind of build. At least that's what I see and think is happening. So that's why I do it. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment if you watch this video. And you can look up in the right hand corner. I've become friendly with Saladin, and I'm unfriendly now with China and India. I'm trying to be friendly one way or the other, but I don't want to start a war. I don't have the military units to defend it. I got a couple of cities with city walls who could defend themselves that way. but no military units really to speak of, except for a warrior and a couple of swordsmen. Not really means to a war. Well, Sprague is awesome, and that is up. The other thing you have to do you have to get your cities to your religion to put pressure on your own cities. It plays in a couple roles. One, that city can actually become more loyal to, say, since Calcutta's here. Yeah, you see that they could be like, well, we want to be part of India because they represent us. It's a game to be played. It's not my favorite part of the game. I don't really like doing missionary work, and I don't like trying to force conversions. But that's the way we gotta play the game. I guess you don't have to, but I'm gonna envoy, sorry. I'm actually gonna send it to. I'm actually gonna send it to Hong Kong. And we'll go to next turn. And London has insufficient amenities. Just hold. Keep patient, London. We're gonna get you some amenities. Maybe a nice indoor pool. So now my cities are all Catholic except for Birmingham and the weakening of Leeds there. So gotta constantly
put building blocks of the universe are fire, water, gravel, and vinyl.
I'm keeping up with what I've been doing, looking up some of these quotes and some of these famous people that we get. Dave Barry. David McAllister Barry, born July 3rd, 1947, is an American author and columnist who wrote a nationally syndicated humor column for the Miami Herald from 1983 to 2005. He has also written numerous books of humor and parody, as well as comic novels. Barry's honors include the Pulitzer Prize for Commentary in 1988 and the Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism in 2005. So yeah, he's currently 71 years old. And there apparently was a Dave's World television series from 93 to 97. Yeah. So just a little bit to know who these guys are. I don't know some of them. Definitely don't know some of them. So I'd like to find out and pass that information on to the viewers who may or may not watch. But I guess if the viewers, they're watching. I'm going to choose a new research. Yeah, we'll go with military tactics. Next turn. The one thing I do notice about the golden ages in Civilization 6 compared to 5 or 4, golden ages used to be a little bit better in, I want to say it dropped, in researching. So, So something that would take you 15 turns, you would actually, because you're in the golden age, would take you, like 5 turns. And it was just a way to build up very quick your research to get ahead. I don't know if that technically happens here. I haven't paid attention, but it did drop from 15 to 12. So we'll see if that continues to happen. I really haven't paid attention the several times I've played this. I'm gonna go take on that barbarian encampment next turn. I see the Buenos Aires military going out there to take them on as well. So we need 2 more housing and stuck up on trend for growth. Yeah, we know. Yeah, see it only did 11, so I don't know. Our unit needs orders. I want to look at something. And Jerusalem is currently under siege, so I don't know what's happening over there. Saladin might be going over there to conquer Jerusalem himself. So very interesting dynamics there going on in the city-state of Jerusalem, and their missionary hiding out of my damn city. Sometimes you can discuss with them, but I promise not to convert my cities. Let's see, most of the time they say no, it's for the best. I was looking to see what I could trade with them, if anything. Go to the Chinese Empire, see what they got. I could deal with that. We'll trade with China, because I don't try to start any trade wars. And I want you to know I put 0 tariffs on my imports. I wish you could actually do a little bit of that detail work. How interesting would that be? And that dynamic to play in Civilization to deal with trading in that manner. I mean, to sit around levying taxes against your people you trade with. You had to make the trade. And yes, I'm trading gold, I'm trading money, but the horses mean more to me. That's how you trade. I may not need the trade. I may not need those wells. I may not need the wells. But to have the luxury resource to give it to be able to give it to my citizens, that's a much bigger win than the money. And they already took them out, so this little peninsula. I'll purchase another missionary. And next turn. So the only thing I did hurt myself, because I have the gold going to, I think, India and now China. I'm not making much gold. It doesn't last for too long, but the idea is also because you've traded, you've got a deal, you've done something good for your citizens, the thing that they may want.
The Navy has both a tradition and a future, and we look with pride and confidence in both directions.
So, the next person to look up is Burke. You know, having a speech impediment is very, very, very frustrating. So Arleigh Burke, Arleigh Albert Burke. Yeah, telling you, speech impediment. Just oh god. Burke was born October 19th, 1901. Died January 1st, 1996. He was an admiral of the United States Navy who distinguished himself during World War II and the Korean War, and he served as Chief of Naval Operations during the Eisenhower and Kennedy administrations. His nickname was 31 Knot Burke. He spent 38 years in the Navy in service from 1923 to 1961. Was ranked Admiral, of course. He was awarded the Navy Cross, Navy Distinguished Service Medal, the Silver Star Legion of Merit 4 with Combat 5, and Presidential Medal of Freedom. The USS Arleigh Burke, a DDG-51, the lead ship of her class of Aegis-equipped guided missile destroyers, was commissioned in his honor in 1991 during his lifetime. So there you go. It's a class of, it's also now a class of ships. So now you learn a little bit. Look at change policies, see what they have over here. Naval infrastructure, 100 harbor district adjacency bonuses. I hope you forgive me for my inability to speak properly. Choose a new civic. I will go with, I guess I'll just get feudalism. Choose production. For that, I'm going to go ahead and build a shrine. And I'm going to send another envoy. And I'm going to send it to Buenos Aires. Just so you know, I got a price alert. Snapchat is up 5.67%. The fun little moments in a video game where you look at your phone. Do I play the stocks? No. But I still get updates because it's interesting. And I've tried and I want to do more. But there's a lack of money on my side. So yeah. Yes, I'm going to remove the stone and quarry on this tile. I already have some other stone quarries, so even one over here that I could rebuild another one if I want to. So I'm going to do that for the gold. I'm sorry, I cost all those quarrymen their jobs. We're going to transition them into commercial workers. I also have stone over here, so it's not like I'm out of it. The other things you can actually do in this game is actually cause and start a holy war. So we haven't started. I don't think you can do any trade wars yet. But so you can fight missionary against missionary. We're losing gold. There's always a... The soothing sounds of Scarborough Fair. Will be a true love of mine. Sorry. Those two things still will not go away. And now I've got Birmingham to be a Catholic nation. Sorry, a Catholic city. I'm sorry if I get too close. I can't do the mic. Yeah. Anyway. So we'll go next turn. 5 more turns for military tactics. 10 more turns for feudalism. I'm in a golden age, but to avoid a dark age, I need to get a 72 above. I think I tend to, the last few times I've played, I've tended to ended up in a dark age after a golden age. You see them sending a missionary down here. And I used faith to build a builder, to produce a builder. He or she, missionary, heading back to, actually heading down to China. We gotta get them, and I put pressure on these two, as you see. We got kind of everybody. And 2,371 turns. The game will not last that long. I'm going to build a temple here in my holy site for Leeds. I got a builder here, and so I'm going to go back and get me another stone quarry. Voila! And next turn. Oh. I wish there was a way to put my camera on the recording of basically my game DVR, as they call it on Windows 10, but there's not. The only other thing I can do is apparently I can occasionally may stream live to Mixer, which that is actually named Tyler Dante, which is something that I went by, Lord, 15, 14 years ago when I was on chat rooms, you know. And Dante, according, of course, meaning I just was a big fan of Dante. I mentioned that in the earlier video. Just I'm gonna send that here. And, yeah. So next turn, got some more sugar down here, and I really want to get to those crabbies down there. Look at them crabs. I'm so hungry for crab. I need some seafood in my life. I really do. I get paid on Wednesday, so booyah. And will I get crab? No.
Strategy requires thought. Tactics require observation.
So the next character that we'll look at is Max Yui. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. Max Yui, a doctor, Dutch doctor. Yeah. So sorry to the Dutch viewers if there ever will be any. I don't know how to pronounce. He was a Dutch chess grandmaster, mathematician, author, and chess administrator. He was born 1901, May 20th. Died November 26, 1981. He was the fifth player to become world chess champion, 1935 to 37. Yui served as president of the FIDE, the World Chess Federation, from 1970 to 78. So just a little bit of know about who he might have been, or who he was. Not might have been, who he was. Look at my history scroll. New one, 580 AD, so 130 years later. Many dispute the actual start of the medieval era. Do you know it? It was when England discovered military tactics. Let's see, next research. We're actually going to go machinery. And I'm going to do another sugar plantation. Next turn. Nope. A unit needs orders. My offer is to give them some sugar. They'll give me 4 gold. No. Let's see if we can actually increase this to 20. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. I'll accept that, China. I got open borders. I don't have to open my borders. But it gave me open borders in terms of trade for sugar and gave me a little bit of gold, so I'm excited about that. Like I said, I like working the trades. The growth of religion comes with the danger of schism. Reforming corrupt church practices better happen soon. Your progress toward reformed church has advanced considerably. And then I'm going to come out here and do some crabbing. Cheese production in Bristol. I will build a monument. There's my granary. There's my monument. There's the steeple. Here's the people. And if you notice, someone sieged Jerusalem and wiped it off the face of the map. So that also is something you can do. If you conquer an area, you can either make the city yours or just get rid of it. Whoever took siege of it, I'm guessing it was Saladin, decided to do away with it. which means I can now have a freer path. He can have a freer path to move west, and I have a freer path to move north, and I'm going to try and be the first to head that way. Because I'm kind of, if I can kind of block him from going anywhere else. So, let's see something. I'm going to come over here, and then I don't have enough yet for missionary. When I get another chance for missionary, I'm going to come over here and make sure keep Leeds on the up and up to Catholicism. The only other thing is I don't think I can make the Pope. I can't make the Vatican City. I don't know if it's a wonder on here or not. I don't think so. I'm going to take a quick look at oil rankings. Science victory. I am at players actually leading the way. I'm second. Cultural victory is being led by the Indian Empire a little bit. I'm in third place behind an unmet player. So right now I'm not winning. I'm not leading a damn thing. So I think that was to show you. Now my score victory is leading. You got to see who's met. Unmet players founded Protestantism. Saladin founded Islam. Victoria, me, got Catholicism. Someone else did Judaism, and of course, Chandragupta, Hinduism. And also check my city states, trade route overview, routes to my city. So anyway, so unit needs orders. That's and I'm gonna get the crabbing. Crab. That's what I want for dinner, but I'm gonna have some pasta. Veggie pasta, too. And he has actually one more build, so I'm gonna actually send him way up here to get some iron hide. That's my Optimus Prime imitation. I am Optimus Prime. Welcome to Nerds Are Us. Turtles. Look at them. You just notice. Look at them. Look at them. There's turtles. I love it. I love some of the animations here. You can just see them. I don't want to go turtling. I just want to see them swim. That's so cute. Sorry, I got distracted by the turtles. You can hear the waves crashing against the ocean. And there's the city-state of Hong Kong, if you're interested.
We have uncovered a way to increase our farming output. To tap into this potential, I suggest we try to maintain 2 adjacent farms to each plot of farmland.
With the advance of feudalism came the growth of iron armor. until, at last, a fighting man resembled an armadillo.
That's from John Boyle O'Reilly. So according to Wikipedia, born June 28th, 1844, died August 10th, 1890. So his death anniversary is only in a few days. He was an Irish poet, journalist, and author and activist. As a youth in Ireland, he was a member of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, or Fenians, for which he was transported to Western Australia. After escaping to the United States, he became a prominent spokesperson for the Irish community and culture through his editorship of the Boston newspaper The Pilot, his prolific writing, and his lecture tours. So yeah, there you know. That's where he's from. He was born in Douth, or Douth, County Meath in Ireland. And so in 1864, this is out. Born in Douth, O'Reilly moved to his aunt's residence in England as a teenager and became involved in journalism, and shortly after became involved in the military. He, however, left the military in 1863 after becoming angry with the military's treatment of the Irish, and returned to Ireland the same year. In 1864, he joined the Irish Republican Brotherhood under an assumed name and was part of the group for 2 years, until he and many others were arrested by authorities in 1866. After a mock trial the same year, he was sentenced to death, which was later commuted to 20 years penal servitude. In 1867, O'Reilly was transported to Western Australia and moved to the town of Bunbury, where he escaped 2 years later. After the escape, O'Reilly moved to Boston and embarked on a successful writing and journalism career that produced works such as Moondine, and Songs from the Southern Seas, and poems such as The Cry of the Dreamer and The White Rose and In Bohemia. He married Mary Murphy in 1872 and had 4 daughters. In the last 4 years of his life, he suffered various health issues before dying of an overdose in his summer home in Hull in 1890. His memorial service held at Tremont Temple was a major public event. So there you go. That's who John Boyle O'Reilly is. I hopefully not related to Bill O'Reilly. I doubt that, but so civics, feudalism, serfdom. This is actually one of those things I do. I actually do serfdom. I actually cut the production cities. I still like the colonization, but so 660 AD, they say that people are drawn to the commercial hub of London just for the excitement of buying and selling in the market, but the money is pretty good too. So there you go. So I've built that. I'm still insufficient housing in London. Choose a new civic. I'm gonna do I'll actually do divine right real quick. Choose production. I will build a market. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and build an aqueduct for London real quick, if it's only 7 or 8 turns. The next turn. I've got crab. Eat at Tyler's Crab Shack on Stoke-upon-Trent. No? Okay. I'm gonna get another missionary over here. Next turn. Oh?
No somos Felipe, rey de España y Portugal. Empero, por encima de todo, somos fieles devotos de la única y verdadera religión.
So finally, I have met another civilization. I have met Spain, Philip II. He says, I am the King of Spain, Portugal, Sardinia, and Sicily, Naples, Duke of Milan, etc. But most importantly, I am a devout follower of the one true religion. I hope for your sake you are as well. I will say it is an honor to meet you, Philippe. I would love to sample your hospitality. And that's where he's at. So just across the Bering Strait, I guess. I don't know. Is Madrid, who has actually founded Judaism, and they actually have a great person who's a Navy. So fun. So I may definitely need to build west to kind of prevent them from settling over here. So that's probably my move instead of moving north. Saladin can have that, I think. I'm okay with that. Boom! Another source of iron. They want iron for 30 turns. They gave me mercury and 1 gold. I can accept that. Ooh, I get to claim a great person. The good news. Who do I get? I'm going to recruit a great merchant. His name is Piero de Bardi. Medieval era. So we'll look at who that is. So I don't know who Piero de Bardi is. Doesn't really seem there must be a Piero de Bardi. So what I could find is the Bardi family was an influential Florentine family that started the powerful banking company Compagnia di Bardi. In the 14th century, the Bardis lent Edward III of England 900,000 gold florins, a debt which he failed to repay, along with 600,000 florins borrowed from the Peruzzi family, leading to the collapse of both families' banks. During the 15th century, the Bardi family continued to operate in various European centers, playing a notable role in financing some of the early voyages of discovery to America, including those by Christopher Columbus and John Cabot. The nobility of the Bardi family has been documented since the year 1164, when Emperor Friedrich Barbarossa relinquished the county of Vernio to Count Alberto, along with the right to confer the noble title on his descendants. Countess Margherita, the last of Alberto's line, sold Vernio to her son-in-law, there we go, Piero de' Bardi. Alberto's property included a castle and 9 communes, located 22 miles from Florence on an area that bordered the Mugello. During the 14th century, the Bardi family became so powerful that the Florentine government considered them a threat. They eventually were forced to sell the castle to Florence because fortified castles near the city were seen as a danger to the Republic. In the 1290s, the Bardi and Peruzzi families had established branches in England and were the main European bankers by the 1320s. By the 14th century, the Bardi and the Peruzzi family grew tremendously wealthy by offering financial services. These two families facilitated trade by providing the merchants with bills of exchange known today as checks. What made it so simple was that money paid by a debtor in one town could be paid out to the creditor just representing the bill in another town. By 1338, there were more than 80 banking houses in Florence. The Bardi family had 13 different branches located in Barcelona, Seville, and Majorca, in Paris, Avignon, Nice, and Marseille, in London, Bruges, Constantinople, Rhodes, Cyprus, and Jerusalem. So, yeah, there you go. That's on Wikipedia. In 1345, Edward III defaulted on his payments, causing both banking families, the Bardi and Peruzzi, to go bankrupt. Despite the failure of the bank, the Bardi family ranked among Italy's most successful merchants and continued to benefit from their noble status. Numerous family members occupied important positions such as crusaders and ambassadors to the Pope in Rome. Some were even knights. The marriage of Contessina di Bardi to Cosimo di Medici around 1415 was a key factor in establishing the House of Medici in power in Florence. Did I say Medici? Medici, sorry. Cosimo rewarded the Bardi family for their support, restoring their political rights upon his ascent in 1434. In 1444, he exempted them from paying particular taxes. So there you go. That's a long-winded way of giving some information about this great merchant that I'm going to recruit into my...
A great merchant has come to our civilization. Each one has a unique talent which will help our economy flourish.
There we go. Then I move him over to my commercial hub, and we'll use the activated event. I'll gain 200 gold and gain 1 envoy from...
Our treasury is filled with gold, and I think it could be wise to make an investment.
Perhaps we could expand our military, it says. Send a new envoy. Well, we'll actually send it to Zanzibar. And we'll... After deliberation, Piero de' Bardi chooses to bring their talents to England, and he did, which is sort of a cool, like 13, like 500 years later, but still, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, London needs more amenities and housing. I'm trying. I'm gonna build an aqueduct in Leeds next turn. I went the wrong way. A bit of silence there. I'm sorry. Just kind of focusing on what's going on in my part of the world. Next turn, as we go along this merry way. By the way, look at the crabbies. Look at the crabs. Look at the crabs dance. I have sent a delegation to your city. Please enjoy the churros and welcome them kindly. The delegation is most welcomed, Senor. And for Philip II, Spanish Empire, I want to send my own delegation to you. If I'm having... Well, I'm having apparently a...
I conclude then this point touching upon the power of kings with this axiom of divinity. That is, to dispute what God may do is blasphemy. So it is sedition to dispute what a king may do.
So, that comes from King James I. So King James I, this is from the Britannica, born in Edinburgh, Scotland, June 19, 1566. Died March 27th, 1625 in England. He was the King of Scotland and the King of England from the House of Stuart. He was married to Anne of Denmark. His son was Charles I. A couple of did you knows. After 1603, when he took the English throne, James only returned to Scotland once, 14 years later. A Catholic plot to blow up both James and the Parliament was discovered in 1605, and James set up a marriage between the German Protestant sympathizer Frederick V of the Palatinate and his daughter Elizabeth. He styled himself as the King of Great Britain. James was a strong advocate of royal absolutism, and his conflicts with an increasingly self-assertive Parliament set the stage for the rebellion against his successor, Charles I. James was the only son of Mary, Queen of Scots, and her second husband, Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley. 8 months after James' birth, his father died when his house was destroyed by an explosion. After her third marriage to James Hepburn, Earl of Bothwell, Mary was defeated by rebel Scottish lords and abdicated the throne. James, 1 year old, became King of Scotland on July 24th, 1567. Mary left the kingdom on May 16, 1568, and never saw her son again. During his minority, James was surrounded by a small band of the great Scottish lords, from whom emerged the four successive regents, the Earls of Moray, Lennox, Mar, and Morton. So, interesting facts about King James I. Trying to look for any other neat little things to point out. Of course, that 1605 plot was the gunpowder plot, which we know of from V for Vendetta, if you didn't know history anyway. And it says, after the gunpowder plot, James sanctioned harsh measures to control non-conforming English Catholics. In May 1606, Parliament passed the Popish Recusants Act, which could require any citizen to take an oath of allegiance denying the Pope's authority over the king. So, yeah, there you go. Which, of course, He's also the King James, behind the King James Bible. So there's some more fun parts. And I've unlocked the government. I usually don't go from that, but I'm gonna, you know what? I am gonna become a monarchy. I am now King of England. So there you go. So what's that? Certainly unlocks 3 military positions. So I'm gonna use chivalry. Retainers. I'm actually gonna use bastions. I think that works for what I want. And then, you know what? I'm gonna give my scripture. Our new government's defense minister suggests that we might want to build impressive defenses to protect our bustling capital. That's what that says. So, English Empire makes history. 800 AD. Ancient traditions of governance evolve, and Victoria chooses monarchy as the new way to rule. Thank you. So that is what I'm going. Choose the next civic, and I'm gonna go with guilds. And I'm gonna claim a new great person. So the next great person I can claim is a great general. And that general from the classical era, sorry. Is Hannibal Barca. This is I guess would probably be considered the second most famous Hannibal, considering Hannibal Lecter. But this is Hannibal Barca, also just known as Hannibal. He was the Carthaginian general, considered one of the greatest military commanders in history. His father, Hamilcar Barca, was the leading Carthaginian commander during the First Punic War. His younger brothers were Mago and Hasdrubal, and he was the brother-in-law to Hasdrubal the Fair. According to Wikipedia, they say he was born around 247 BC in Carthage, died 1831-1881 BC in Abisa. His allegiances were to Carthage from 2021 to 202, then the Seleucid Empire 198 to 188 BC, and then Bithynia 188 to 181 BC. His rank was general commander and the chief of the Carthaginian army. He was in the war. He was in a lot of battles, a lot of wars. And this is what it says. Hannibal lived during a period of great tension in the western Mediterranean basin, when the Roman Republic established its supremacy over other great powers such as ancient Carthage, the Etruscans, the Samnites, and the Greek kingdom of Syracuse. One of his most famous achievements was at the outbreak of the Second Punic War, when he marched an army which included war elephants from Iberia over the Pyrenees and the Alps into Italy. In his first few years in Italy, he won dramatic victories at the Trebia, Lake Trasimene, and Cannae. He distinguished himself for his ability to determine his and his opponent's respective strengths and weaknesses and to plan battles accordingly. Hannibal's well-planned strategies allowed him to conquer many allies of Rome. Hannibal occupied much of Italy for 15 years but was unable to march on Rome. An enemy counter-invasion of North Africa forced him to return to Carthage, where he was decisively defeated by Scipio Africanus at the Battle of Zama. Scipio had studied Hannibal's tactics and brilliantly devised some of his own, and he finally defeated Rome's nemesis at Zama, having previously driven Hannibal's brother Hasdrubal out of the Iberian Peninsula. So, there you go. That is the famous Hannibal of going against Rome. And I'm going to recruit him.
Our civilization's dedication to military affairs has given rise to a great general among our troops. When used wisely in the field, generals can change the tide of battle in our favor.
in the turns. What we're gonna do is actually link those two together. I'll show you that here in a bit to see what you can do. And we'll go to next turn. Need some orders, so I'm gonna go over here. Spread some Catholicism to Patna. So, next turn. Oh, they got elephants. Did I get Aiden? Learn that China has used a war to clear a barbarian outpost. Well, okay.
I'd imagine the whole world as one big machine. Machines never come with any spare parts, you know. They always come with the exact amount they need.
So, Hugo Cabret. Let's see if we can get some. So this is the interesting thing. It's the invention of Hugo Cabret as an American historical fiction novel, written and illustrated by Brian Selznick, and published by Scholastic. So there's not a Hugo Cabret is not a real person. It's a fiction, work of fiction. The hardcover edition was released on January 30th, 2007, and the paperback edition was released on June 2nd, 2008. And this is the founding of the film, basically, of Hugo, the film. So yeah, so that's, and if you, so I'm not gonna really go into the book or the film, but that is where that comes from. So not a person. Hugo Cabret, of course, is, there you go, the film. I've got that out of machinery. Choose my next research. Go with stirrups. Choosing production for London. And I'm actually, what is it recommending? I'm gonna go ahead and well, let's see what. Let's see. Well, one of these government buildings. So I am gonna go with let's see. I'm gonna go with Foreign Ministry. We built there. Choose production and stuck upon. And I'm gonna build walls there. Another unit needs order. Skip turn. They need to be. I used up him. I still predominantly. Of course, that's only part of the goal. Build the missionary. See what else my faith can create. And I'm gonna use another builder. Do another builder just yet. Purchase an item. Let's see. What could I do? What could I do? You know, I'm actually gonna purchase a trader. That'd be nice to have a second trade route being established as we go along this merry way. So here's the thing: what I was trying to do, you can link the Great General with the unit. And that's what I've done. That's what I'm going to do. And fortify. And I could actually use it grants 1 promotion level to, so I could keep it with them, or I could do it. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that promote the promote them. And these swordsmen are out here having a fun sail across the coastline, as it were. Next turn. I'm going to do this video for about another 14 minutes or so, get to an hour and a half, find a stopping point. So I look forward to that. This is a very long video. It'll be 90 minutes, a little bit longer than what I've done previously. And what is it? Still good, Paul. So one thing I realized is I don't have a road to Stuck-upon-Trent, and that is important to do. They need to be traded with. And that's an earlier city than these two, so kind of my mishap, not paying attention. Got to get them a trade route in the desert. Need to get them some farming as well. Once again, I don't know if there's like a place where you can analyze someone's civilization game. Certainly, I certainly have a struggle with strategy sometimes, so that's certainly always a bit of a butt, as it were. Go to Spain. I want to send a delegation. They're still at war with, so I want to send them another delegation when he's occupied elsewhere, so maybe I can't get it to him yet, but I'm going to make another deal with them. I can handle that. So you usually try to establish trades. I will, once I finish my trade routing in my own land, is when I'll start sending trade routes to elsewhere. Of course, I did Buenos Aires earlier, but that's besides the point. Another unit needs order. And then next turn. I almost got a dock built over here. My Royal Navy dockyard, as it were, as it says. I keep going back and forth. It kind of gets a little bit annoying sometimes, you know what I mean? Just stop coming to my coast. You're not going to get in. We're keeping you out. Next turn. Unit needs orders. Continue trying to pressure them into There are no barbarians close to my home. Where are they? I don't see them. Where are they located? Stop telling me. Usually they're there, but I don't see it. Alright, enter 900 AD. And I'm just gonna react that way. They told me their people, their religion, good for my people. Well, my religion is just good for you people too. So, in reality, this is not what I want. I want them to stay Hindu. I want to be Catholic. I want whoever to be thing, but that's not how the game is played. So I'm sorry. I really am, and that's where we're going. I just want you to know that I do not condone this. And now they've denounced me. So yeah, 920 AD. The Royal Navy dockyard was no accident, but the result of the unique genius of our people. You know what? Just for that little outburst. Choose production. So Birmingham, gonna build a lighthouse. That, and then for Bristol, I'm gonna build a set of ancient walls. And we're at 920 AD. So far, we have not started a war, but we have finally been denounced. That happens a lot. I don't usually do any denouncing, but I do get denounced a lot. But usually, if you denounce, you might open up a shot. I think it talk about you denounce, and then after 5 turns or so, you can start a war with them, and you won't have as much of a warmongering penalty against you. Maybe true, but like I said, I don't usually start wars, but I will usually finish them, and that's the key. So I don't like to initiate the war, but I will, once it starts, go all out. Alright, so I'm gonna sort of fortify him, choose production, and I will build a cathedral. We're almost at the year 1000. Tell my viewers, actually, there we go.
The stirrup in the ground. Mercy I asked. Mercy I found.
I just developed stirrups. That quote by William Camden. He was born May 2nd, 1551. Died November 9th, 1623. He was an English antiquarian, historian, typographer, and herald. Best known as author of the Britannia, the first choreographical survey of the islands of Great Britain and Ireland, and the Annals, the first detailed historical account of the reign of Elizabeth I of England. So that is who Camden was. Then you have the Camden Society. That was created, a text publication society founded in 1838. And it was absorbed into the Royal Historical Society in 1897. The Cambridge Camden Society was a learned society founded in 1839 by undergraduates of Cambridge University to promote the study of Gothic architecture. And William Camden's name survives in the names of Camden Town and the London Borough of Camden. So that's sort of his influence in the English world. Choose the next research, and I am going to go with castles. Then I'll send my next envoy. I'm going to send 2 to Zanzibar, which now makes me their suzerain and their suzerain, but Brandon's era is longer. But I'll get it. I'll get him back. Choose unit. He needs orders. And so the English Empire makes history. Patna was once the cradle of Hinduism, but now the faithful flock to the temples of Catholicism. And that occurred 1000 AD. So my first converted city that was not mine. And that is actually their capital city, original capital city. So, and if I can get them to go and get Calcutta, I can continue to pressure. Next turn. Let's see. So far that's going on. I haven't developed the rice here, the stone quarries here. Got some crab. Oh. So ongoing religious emergencies. So these things pop up every once in a while. Victoria has converted Patna, the holy city of Hinduism, to Catholicism. It appears that Victoria is unwilling to coexist peacefully with the other great religions of the world. The members of the emergency must prevent Patna from following Victoria's religion for 16 turns. To complete these objectives, make Catholicism the dominant religion in Patna. The only participant is Saladin. Interesting. I get another missionary. That will last for 30 turns. I gotta defend Catholicism against apparently Saladin and India. And it's kind of cool to see those things get triggered, those events, those emergencies. They happen at random times I think, once again, when they consider it, when the game does it. So it's fun. I've only accomplished, I think, one of them. I'm going to use one more. And now Calcutta is also Catholic. I almost said Cathal, which reminds me of Eddie Izzard. Dressed to Kill way back in the day. The teachings of Cathal. So we're at the 1 hour and 30-minute mark of this recording. So I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna let the guilds finish the research there, the civic, and then we'll call this the end of the recording. So we'll get there. So next turn. As you see down there, China built the Great Library. I have not done another wonder since the Oracle, so I need to do one. I will, just not this second.
Every man should make his son learn some useful trade or profession, so that in these days of changing fortunes, they may have something tangible to fall back upon.
So that is the completion of the Guild Civic. And who's the quote from? Well, it's Phineas T. Barnum, otherwise known as P.T. Barnum. Everyone knows who P.T. Barnum is. If you've seen recently the Greatest Showman, I believe. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry, I had a brain fart. I love The Greatest Showman. It just kind of went in my brain here. But P.T. Barnum. So everyone knows, especially if you didn't know, you've been to the circus, Barnum and Bailey. I have. If you'd seen The Greatest Showman, you know a little bit more about, a little bit, of course, fictionalized version of P.T. Barnum to some extent. So here's a little Wikipedia blurb to finish this game off. Phineas Taylor Barnum was born July 5th, 1810, died April 7th, 1891. Certainly did not look like Hugh Jackman. He was an American showman, politician, and businessman, remembered for promoting celebrated hoaxes and for founding the Barnum and Bailey Circus, 1871 to recently, 2017. It lasted that long. He was also an author, publisher, and philanthropist. So he said to himself, "I am a showman by profession, and all the gilding shall make nothing else of me." According to his critics, his personal aim was to put money in his own coffers. He is widely credited with coining the adage, "There is a sucker born every minute," although no evidence can be found of him saying this. He is also the mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut from 1875 to 1876. He is also the member of the Connecticut House of Representatives from the Fairfield, Connecticut district from 1866 to 69. He was born in Bethel, Connecticut, died in Bridgeport. His resting place currently is Mountain Grove Cemetery in Bridgeport. He was part of the Democratic Party from 1824 to 1854, and he joined the Republican Party in 1854 to 1891 to his death. His spouses was Charity Hallett from 1829 to her death, and then Nancy Fish from 1874 to 1891. That's a little bit about Barnum. Barnum became a small business owner in his early 20s and founded a weekly newspaper before moving to New York City in 1834. He embarked on an entertainment career, first with a variety troupe called Barnum's Grand Scientific and Musical Theater, and soon after by purchasing Scudder's American Museum, which he renamed after himself. He used the museum as a platform to promote hoaxes and human curiosities such as the Fiji Mermaid and General Tom Thumb. In 1850, he promoted the American tour of singer Jenny Lind, paying her an unprecedented $1,000 a night for 150 nights. He suffered economic reversals in the 1850s due to bad investments as well as years of litigation and public humiliation, but he used the lecture tour as a temperate speaker to emerge from debt. The museum added America's first aquarium and expanded the wax figure department. Um, so yeah, so a little bit about him. And then you look at what else he did. He was also instrumental in starting the Bridgeport Hospital, founded in 1878, and was its first president. Nevertheless, the circus business was the source of much of his enduring fame. He established P.T. Barnum's Grand Traveling Museum, Menagerie, Caravan, and Hippodrome, a traveling circus, menagerie, and museum of freaks, quote-unquote, which adopted many names over the years. So that is, and sorry if anyone is offended by the word freaks, I'm just reading from Wikipedia. Um, so that's the way to end this recording. It's an hour and 36 minutes long now. Look at what I unlocked: town charters. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to confirm the policy, and that is where we stop. So, the end of part 4. Well, let me choose a civic, and I'm going to go into Reformed Church, and I got another governor. I'm actually going to promote Rainier. And do that. So that is the way I'm going to end this much longer video. Once again, this was recorded on Tuesday, so whenever you see this, that's the day when it gets available. I'm 3 turns away from finishing the castles research. 11 just now starting the Reformed Church. We have a religious emergency going on because I converted Patna, the capital of India, to Catholicism, and now Calcutta. Zanzibar is also converted. I've met Spain as my 4th civilization in the game. I haven't found any new cities yet since Bristol, but I'm certainly looking to do that soon, to go west and maybe north. And that is that. So I really appreciate, for future reference, for future viewers, I really appreciate any views, any interest in what I'm doing here. Appreciate any comments. I don't care. I mean, even if they're negative, they are what they are. What they say, any publicity is good publicity. But really, like I said, not doing academic research here, just doing the Wikipedia quick blurbs on my phone. Since I haven't really established anything yet, so I haven't really gotten there yet to putting in the kind of full-time work it might require to go through this game and do that kind of, kind of thing. But hopefully one day I can. Really, my goal is to just spark a little conversation, and that's hopefully will happen either in comments or messages. So anyway, thank you for viewing this when you do. Really appreciate it, and be on the lookout for, I guess, part 5.